Hello, Leos. This is your weekly tarot oracle card reading. I'm using an oracle deck today, The Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reid. So I'm trying something new. For those of you that have watched some of my videos before, my live streams usually, I've been doing a lot of free personal readings, but I'm still going to be doing those. But for today, what I'm doing is a weekly reading for all the zodiac signs. So we're on Leo now, and I'm not starting the weekly readings on a Sunday or a Monday. I'm working, experimenting with um, using the moon phases as the weekly. So I had the idea when the full moon happened a couple days ago, but it took me a couple days to be able to start this up. So this reading will be relevant for Leos from the full moon we just had on the 19th to the third quarter moon, which will be on the 26th of February 2019. So this is a general reading for anyone with their sun, moon, or rising sign in Leo. I'm a Leo rising, so be interesting to see what this reading has in store for us. Okay, I'm going to just set the intention and see how many cards I'm going to be drawing for this reading. Every reading I do is different. If you watch any of the other videos for the other signs, some of them have 2 cards, some of them have 3, some have cards from different decks. It just really depends on what I intuit as being the, best way to set up the reading. So let me see how many cards I'm going to draw for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for this week, from the full moon to the third quarter moon. What are the energies at play? What are we learning about? What are things that Spirit would like us to be aware of? Guidance, advice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 cards. Do some shuffling. Some more shuffling. And if you have a question about this particular reading or about your sun sign or your moon or rising, feel free to ask in the chat. But like I said, I'm not doing personal readings. This is a general reading for Leo. But I do, however, offer very affordable readings on my website, theinneryou.com. I have card readings that start at $10. It's super affordable. If you hear something, that's my dog talking in her sleep. Okay, I'm going to give a little more shuffling. Ooh, lots of shuffling. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's our first card. This third card must be way down in here. Alrighty, there we go. Got our 3 cards. Let me just make sure they're all in the correct position. Okay, this one needs to get turned around. Okay. Yeah, these cards use reversals, so sometimes I kind of get a feeling that one should be turned around, so sometimes I'll go through and ask if I kind of get that feeling. Okay, so the first card is Deep Freeze, and it's upright. This is number 26. Deep Freeze. 26. Let's see here. And this was upright, okay. Everything has its season. Now is the time to put activity on hold while you rest. The cold winter beckons you to slow down and put a freeze on things that are not yet ready to bloom. It's time for regeneration and hibernation. Forego ambitious activity. A pregnant pause allows ideas to gestate, projects to shift and change, and relationships to go through a dreamy state of being, not going anywhere, not needing to. This is also a time to put all your arguments on ice. Nothing beneficial will come from any of them. Self-care is the most important activity now. So reflect, read a good book, or get a massage. Rest and dream. That seems very fitting, especially for this time right now, because as you probably know, the full moon signifies things coming to completion. Also, having awarenesses, like having a light shined on things and having some deep awarenesses about things that perhaps we're ready to move on from or let go of. And then after the full moon, we have this 2-week period leading up to the new moon, where things are not, where it's not really a growth time. So it's very fitting that this card is here, because this is for this week, one of these weeks where it is a time of kind of reflecting on things, not necessarily taking any action, because even if you had a realization about something, it's not necessarily the time to confront someone or the time to end something. I mean, if it happens, it happens, but if you're feeling like you don't know what path you should take, like if you're feeling like, oh, I want to do this, but like, say you're thinking about breaking up with someone, if you're uncertain about it or uncertain about when or how, then I think this card is letting you know to just take it easy. Don't really work. The indecision is kind of a sign to not really act on it at all. Just take this time to reflect. Self-care is important. Take care of yourself. Do what makes you happy, what feeds your soul. And take this time to really rest. So also, if there's any people out there, Leos or Leo risings, Leo moons, that are somewhat of like a workaholic or feeling like they kind of always need to be doing something productive, then this would definitely be a message to just kind of take it easy this week. Don't push yourself too hard. especially if things are not really moving forward like you might want them to. Just take that as a sign from spirit to that it's okay to take it easy. It's okay to rest. It's okay to just kind of wait and for things to happen in their own timing. So the second card is Sad Embrace, and it was also upright. Card 45. So yeah, maybe that some of you are contemplating ending something, or it could be something like with a family member maybe. um, but it looks like there's possibly some sadness going on in your life. So let's see. Sad Embrace. Loss is a part of life. Let go and allow time to heal you. You may be entering into a period where loss is a theme. Perhaps you're having to let go of a long cherished dream. If so, take heart. For this ending may have been for your highest good. A better and more powerful dream will be realized in your life if you can accept the loss. Relationships based on faulty foundations are meant to end at this time. Disappointment is a form of perception. If your expectations weren't met, a sense of loss arises along with sadness and grief. Express these emotions. Tears are like healing rain that can restore life to a parched inner landscape. Growth is always assured. Whatever the loss, however great it is, let go and experience your feelings so that you may soon see what beauty lies ahead. So one thing that is interesting about this is, I've been thinking a lot about this. The difference between throwing away something, like throwing something, physically throwing something, and letting go of something. Sometimes when we have a negative situation in our life, for example, an unhealthy relationship, or just a relationship that maybe isn't fulfilling on some level. And if one person isn't being fulfilled, I would hazard a guess that really neither party is being fulfilled, even though one person may not really be saying anything. So, a really interesting thing I've noticed is that you don't necessarily have to always take action. So this card, here is talking about a deep freeze, a time of inaction. And this card here is talking about actively letting go of things. And so, sometimes the act of letting go is somewhat of an inaction. Sometimes all that's needed is to have that realization that you don't want to have a particular energy in your life, and to set the intention to release it, to literally release your hold on it. You're holding it, you're holding on to a relationship, holding on to a dream, holding on to an expectation. You don't necessarily have to forcefully remove it from your life. Sometimes just the act of letting go of it. And then it naturally goes where it needs to go. Things naturally flow, but you're not running after it, being dragged in the dirt, holding on to a corner of it and screaming for dear life. You can just let go of it and it can go where it needs to go. So the other big message here, though, is that there's definitely something more positive coming into your life. So even though you may feel sad about things not going the way you wanted them to or what you hoped for, just know that anything that's ending for you right now or that has recently ended is definitely for the best for you and probably for the other people that are involved. And something much better, much more authentic, more aligned with your energy is going to come into your life. So let's see what this third card is. Sacred Pool. And this is also upright. Number 47. Sacred Pool. The world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. So it's kind of like be the change you want to see, or sort of thing. When you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? The Sacred Pool card asks that you focus on self-love and self-esteem. Ah, that's a pretty big one for Leos. A lot of people tend to assume that Leos are the most confident of all of the signs. And perhaps that's true. Definitely in a healthy, balanced Leo, there's certainly a high level of self-confidence and self-worth. But on the flip side, many of us that have strong Leo in our chart often really struggle with self-love and self-esteem. So, especially if we feel like we're not being recognized for our greatness, because anyone that has Leo in their chart in a strong placement, like their sun, moon, or rising, definitely, has some sort of star quality, some really fantastic energy. Some part of their life is definitely impacted by this amazing Leo energy. And if you are in situations or relationships where you don't really feel recognized and valued, it can definitely chip away at whatever self-love and self-esteem you do have. Even people that have a great deal of self-love and self-esteem, they can be in situations where they might start to wonder. But of course, the stronger you are in your sense of self, the less likely that is to happen. Just a moment. Okay, so we are all works in progress. So a detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for now. Reflect by the sacred pool and be at peace with yourself. Can you see how far you've come and how magical your life is? Do you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you're the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to respect yourself and act in good conscience. Then you'll reap the greatest rewards. Your unique service to the world is not only needed but celebrated. See, that's like what I was talking about. That Leo energy, it is powerful, charismatic, warm, loving, loyal, and in whatever way that energy manifests, boy, it can touch all sorts of aspects of a person's life. They might really, express their Leo qualities in relationships or in work. They might be in some sort of creative fields or working with children. There's a lot of different ways, but it's definitely an amazing, pretty amazing sign. See the love within you, and know that if you cast it upon the waters, it will return to you tenfold. Be at peace, for you are beautiful and loved. Act with surety and confidence, and success shall be yours, whatever your inquiry. So I think that this card, a big message here, apart from, it's pretty straightforward what it was saying, but there's a few different things that really stood out to me. One is to really recognize and acknowledge that divinity within you, that love, that spark of life, that powerful force, within you. It's not about the way you look or how you dress or what kind of job you have or how great your car is, all of those things really don't matter. Those are just decorations, really. The real amazing thing about you is what's on the inside. You know, that's the part that's the most spectacular. So if you're feeling like your self-esteem is low or your self-confidence is low, make sure that you're focusing on the things that are really important. Don't focus on some materialistic external thing. Focus on the inner you. That's what my channel's all about, the inner you. It's a little play on words there, you know, but it's like the strength within you, the you tree, you know, the inner you. That's what that's where your greatest source of self-confidence will come from. When you can truly really just know, have that sense of knowing that you are of the divine, that you are filled, that your whole being is perfect, exactly as you are. And that the uniqueness that is you is something that, for one thing, does not exist anywhere else in the world at this time. And that and because of that, you have your own individual contribution to share, whatever that may be. So it's really important. And that contribution, when you're coming from that place of really acknowledging your true inner worth and beauty and wonderfulness, then that unique expression of yourself is definitely celebrated. So in relation to these other cards, you know, perhaps you were in a situation where, you know, it feels like perhaps you were in a situation where you were not really valued, not really seen. And where perhaps you even started to question your own self-worth. So, you know, one of the things, I think it was this card, mentioned something that disappointment is a form of perception. You know, when you feel that letdown, you know, there's things in our life that are going to be sad and difficult and all of that. But, you know, if you're getting these feelings over and over again, you know, there comes a time where you realize that you're just ready. You deserve something much better, whether it's a job, a relationship, a family dynamic, whatever it may be. You definitely deserve to be in a situation where you're seen and where you're valued and where you can really let that beautiful Leo energy shine without any sense of shame or someone telling you you're showing off or, you know, that you're too extravagant or whatever. You know, you don't need that bullshit. You need to be in a space, in a situation where you're really able to shine. But, you know, it's not so much about looking to the outside for that validation. It's about finding it within, because acknowledging what you already are and then being in situations and connections where the wonderful you is free to be. So free to be you and me. Alrighty. So if you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification. I do offer personalized readings for free on here when I can. But I also have affordable readings on my website, theinneryou.com. I also do astrology charts and that sort of thing. So anyhow, I'll be doing another weekly reading hopefully in about a week. Um, oh, okay. And I see, just to give a little hello, some people had messaged on here, and I apologize I didn't see them. See your messages, Champagne and Joanna, right away. Oh, wow. Yeah. Hard stuff. A lot of people are going through a lot of transitions right now. Um, but it's definitely for the best. So just make sure that you guys are doing lots of self-care, if you can, and one thing here that this was talking about is, if you're feeling sad, if you're really sad or angry or whatever about what's going on in your life, definitely let yourself feel those emotions, express them, feel them. You don't need to shove them down and pretend like everything's okay. Feel what you feel so that you can let go of it and then move forward into what's coming into your life. So because this is a moon phase reading, this is from now, well, from the full moon until the 19th, till about the 26th, when we have the third quarter um, moon phase. And then I'll do a reading from the third quarter to the new moon. So chances are things will start taking off for you guys around from in about 2 weeks. Things will start moving forward, but right now it's a time of about 2 weeks of resting, reflecting, letting go, um, healing, mourning, doing whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, emotion wise, mental health wise, spiritual wise, whatnot. Take care of yourself, love yourself, um, and get ready and rest. Rest is important, because in a couple weeks things will start picking up. That's when that forward movement, will be starting up more. So definitely use this time to, you know, have that downtime, because the more forward energy will be starting up in a couple weeks. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.